Hello dear listeners. Welcome back to Wonder Buddy's World. Today, Olivia is pleased to present a new story filled with drama, emotions, and depth, promising to bring you an unforgettable experience. The story begins on a scorching summer noon when the blazing sun dominates the sky. The heat scorches the fields, leaving the harvested rice paddies dry and cracked. The air is still, except for the constant cicada hum and the soft gurgling of a narrow irrigation canal. Mr. Sow, a simple and honest farmer, is out in the fields, his tanned face etched with deep wrinkles from years of toil. Holding a long bamboo pole, he nudges his flock of ducks, guiding them toward scattered grains left in the harvested fields. His sun-scorched skin and hunched posture tell the story of a lifetime of hard labor. Lately, an unsettling feeling has lingered in his heart. Every day at this time, either his wife or his son, T, would bring him lunch, but today, no one has come. His stomach growling, Mr. Sow wipes the sweat off his forehead and squints toward his house in the distance. A small cottage nestled under the shade of trees. Everything appears quiet, too quiet. He clicks his tongue and decides to head home. Upon arrival, he hesitates. The house feels unusually empty. The wooden door is slightly ajar. And stepping inside, he finds the atmosphere eerily still. The cold, uneaten rice from the previous night sits in a pot on the stove. Greasy bowls and remnants of sour morning soup remain on the table. He frowns. Strange. My wife is always home at this hour. Recently, he had noticed changes in his wife. She had been dressing better, tidying up more, and occasionally dusting her cheeks with powder, something she hadn't done in years. Whenever she left the house, she made sure her clothes were neat, a stark contrast to her usual careless demeanor. But the most peculiar thing was the look in her eyes, an unfamiliar glimmer that was neither joy nor sadness, but something mysterious and unreadable. Just as he starts contemplating, he hears children shouting from a distance. Mr. Sow, hurry to the duck shack. Madam Nom is furious. Without another thought, he grabs his hat and rushes to the fields. Blank. Blank. At the duck shack, Madam Nom, the owner of the flock, stands with her arms akimbo, her voice sharp and accusing. Mr. Sow, how could you abandon the ducks? I'm paying you to watch them, not to disappear. What if thieves came and stole them? Lowering his head, Mr. Sow replies humbly, Madam Nom, please forgive me. I was starving, so I went home for a quick bite and came back immediately. The ducks are still here, safe in the field. Her glare softens, but she maintains her firm stance. And where's T? Why didn't he bring you lunch? I haven't seen him all day. Mr. Sow sighs, shaking his head. I don't know either. When I got home, the place was deserted. Even my wife was gone. I'm worried. Madam Nom hesitates before speaking, her voice suddenly softer, hesitant. Mr. Sow, I need a favor from you. He looks at her in surprise. Usually, she's strong-willed and direct. To see her falter like this is unusual. Clutching the edge of her tunic, she lowers her head and mumbles, I want a child. Silence stretches between them. Mr. Sow feels his heartbeat quicken. Suddenly, the vague suspicions in his mind become crystal clear. His wife's recent changes, her secretive demeanor, the unexplained absences. Could it be? Madam Nom raises her gaze, her eyes glistening with hope. I know you're a good man. Someone I can trust. I won't force you into anything. But I've been alone for so long, and I just want to try. If it doesn't work out, I won't hold it against you. He takes a step back, inner turmoil flashing across his face. He has a wife, a son. He cannot betray them. But Madam Nom's eyes, full of yearning and loneliness, stir something deep within him. For days, he avoids her, consumed by guilt and confusion. He speaks little to his wife, burdened by the unspoken weight between them. Until one evening, as he sits on the porch, his wife joins him, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. Mr. Sow, I know everything. He freezes, turning slowly. He sees no anger in her eyes, just quiet sorrow. She continues, I know about you and Madam Nom. I don't blame you, but I need you to understand that this family still needs you. T and I are still here. Waiting for you. His hands tremble as guilt crashes over him like a tidal wave. From that moment, life carries on. Mr. Sao works tirelessly, while his wife remains by his side, never mentioning the past. But a fracture has formed between them, one that time may never fully mend. Elsewhere, Madame Nam cradles a newborn in her arms, gazing at the tiny face with overwhelming love. You are everything to me, she whispers. I don't need anyone else. Just you. The baby stirs, its tiny fingers wrapping around hers. In the distance, the sun sets over the golden fields, painting the sky with hues of crimson and amber. Another day passes, carrying with it secrets and silent heartaches buried deep in the hearts of those who carry them.